Hey everyone, it's Phil Swain from fitnessandhealthadvisor.com. I thought I'd make a video about what foods are high in cholesterol. I wanted to do a video because I'm asked about this a lot. A lot of people are getting more and more worried about cholesterol because of the high risk of developing heart disease and heart attacks. You can be technically skinny and still have high levels of cholesterol in your system. Recently, a friend of mine, her younger 16-year-old brother actually had a heart attack, and he is fit but would still eat really poorly. So cutting out some of these foods, or at least limiting them, is going to be your best chance at lowering your cholesterol levels. Obviously, getting proper exercise is also going to be good for you. So without further ado, let's start with the list of foods that are high in cholesterol. Let's start with everyone's favorite food, bacon. Oh, delicious bacon. Bacon is essentially made from pork, which is cured in a salty brine and then smoked. It's very rare for people to not like bacon because of its distinct flavor and texture. The one problem is, one piece of bacon can contain 10 milligrams of cholesterol and 5 grams of pure fat. Now, having a little bit of bacon is not going to hurt you, such as having 2 slices for breakfast. But I see a lot of people, especially people when I am eating out, such as at a Denny's or other breakfast chain, and I see them just loading bacon on their plate like there's no tomorrow. The amount of cholesterol they're eating in one serving is going to be a very quick way for them to be very unhealthy and have a heart attack, and maybe even die. Number 2 on the list is egg yolk. Now, I'm a big fan of egg yolk because of all the nutrition that's packed into such a small amount of food. And just like bacon, there's nothing wrong with having a few egg yolks once in a while. Now, the problem is if you consume them on a regular basis, you might find your cholesterol levels rise quickly. The yolk of the egg has the most cholesterol of any food based on portion size. 100 gram serving of egg yolk can contain as much as 1,300 milligrams of cholesterol. Now, this is over 4 times your recommended daily allowance. Now, if you love eggs like me, try to limit your egg yolks to roughly 6 to 8 per week and supplement the rest with egg whites. Egg whites also contain not quite as much nutrition as an egg yolk, but still a good amount of nutrition, and it also has great protein and has 0 harmful cholesterol. Number 3 on my list is obviously butter. Now, do I really have to say anything about butter here, people? Butter is contained in many unhealthy foods, such as cakes and cookies, but can also hide in other foods, such as breads. Now, 1 tablespoon of butter contains roughly 30 milligrams of cholesterol. Now, this is roughly 10% of your daily allowance of cholesterol. And the problem is, some recipes call for having almost a whole stick of butter included. You can see how your cholesterol levels are going to rise very quickly when you're eating foods like that. It's best to stay away from butter as much as possible. Now, if you need something for a spread, it might be better to use a light cream cheese or even margarine instead of butter. Number 4 on my list actually surprised me a little bit when I was a teenager. I thought shrimp was extremely healthy for you, but in fact it also contains a huge amount of cholesterol. It is low in fat, but the trade-off is the high levels of cholesterol. 100 grams of shrimp can contain as much as 70% of your recommended daily allowance for cholesterol. Now, this is okay as long as you keep your portions under control and don't eat shrimp too often. Try to keep your portion sizes between 5 to 10 large shrimp per serving and you should be fine. Try not to eat shrimp more than twice a week. The majority of dairy products contain cholesterol, and ice cream is no exception. It obviously has cholesterol because it's usually made with real cream. A small scoop of ice cream can have as much as 45 milligrams of cholesterol, and certain French vanilla ice creams can have as much as 85 milligrams of cholesterol in just that tiny scoop. If you want ice cream but don't want the cholesterol, it might be a better idea to switch to frozen yogurts. I find they taste almost the same, but they have no cholesterol, and they are also much lower in fat and have lower calories. This is definitely a quick fix for people that love ice cream, like myself. Even though frozen yogurt is healthier for you, you still can't be eating it every day though. Number 6 on my list is caviar. Now I personally don't think I've ever eaten caviar before, but I've heard it's extremely expensive, as well as extremely high in cholesterol. 100 grams of caviar can contain as much as 600 milligrams of cholesterol. Now this is roughly 2 times the amount of cholesterol you should be eating in an entire day. Your best bet is to just stay away from caviar, since it's not really that good anyways. The final product I want to talk to you about is cheese. Now cheese has an amazing source of calcium and protein, but it's still extremely high in fat and cholesterol. Now the problem with me is I love cheese, and if I have it in the house, I'm going to eat it all. Cheese is surprisingly bad for you. A 1 by 1 inch cube of cheese can have as much as 40% of your daily cholesterol levels and have well over 10 grams of fat per cube. This is why I try my best to just keep it out of the house. Stay away from cheese, use your willpower, and never buy it again, if possible. If you love cheese too much, you need to try your best to eat only a few slices of it per day. To lower your cholesterol levels, you don't need to take all these foods out of your diet. You just have to make sure you're not overindulging. Make sure to portion out these bad foods and you will be fine. You also need to be eating a well-balanced diet to keep your cholesterol levels within normal range. You also should be exercising, as every person on this planet should, and try to stay away from processed foods as well, since they are extremely high in fat, sodium, and cholesterol as well. Well, thanks for watching this video. Come check me out at fitnessandhealthadvisor.com for more articles and videos.